Hello, very warm welcome to New Century here in Manchester. Today, the fighters will step on the scales and face off for the final time ahead of a bumper night in action at the AO Arena on Saturday night. Headlined by Franchón Crews-Dezurn and Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall jumping straight back into the fire, bidding to become undisputed super middleweight world titles. Alongside me, we have a plethora of guests. Andy Clark, Matt Macklin, and Johnny Nelson alongside me. It is going to be a cracking night on Saturday night. How much are you looking forward to it, Andy?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it ever since they made it. Obviously, we've had Marshall against Crews-Dezurn put up to the top of the bill, but it stands there in its own right. It's a fight for undisputed, and she's the first ever undisputed super middleweight champion. We've never had one with the men, so this is an historic occasion. And there's just a lot on the line for both of them. Savannah goes straight back into the fire, like you said. Defeat is unthinkable for her, but the unthinkable and the impossible are never the same. And Dezurn Crews has got this presence and confidence about her. She's the kind of person who feels like, in the build-up and then on the night, she can wear you down and break your will.
She's a hustler, isn't she, through and through?
Yeah, and that's what she's going to look to do, put it on you and break your will. And she looks at Marshall, and rightly or wrongly, she feels like she sees someone who can be broken.
Savannah Marshall, she could have taken a bit more of an easy route, couldn't she? She could have had a warm-up fight from that loss to Clarissa Shields, but she's made the decision to go straight back into it against Crews-Dezurn. She took a bit of time out after that Shields loss, 4 months or so. She said she sort of did whatever she needed to do to get past that loss. Is there a danger, though? Could any demons, could any hang-ups be still in her mind from that loss?
Yeah, you never know. There's always a possibility. Self-doubt could creep in, particularly if she gets a bad start. If Crews-Dezurn wins the first few rounds and really gets on top in the fight, then definitely self-doubt could creep in. But I don't expect that to happen. I think she put in, she didn't beat Clarissa Shields, but she put in a really solid performance. She brought the best out of Clarissa, actually. I think she'll have looked at it, she'll have dissected her performance, and I think she'll have, I imagine she'll have improved from it. I think, this is a tough fight.
It's one of those losses that she would have learned so much from.
It's a tough fight. She could get beaten, tomorrow night, definitely. If she's not at her A game, she could lose this fight. But I think we might see a better Savannah than we've ever seen, because it was a hard fight by Clarissa, but I think she will have taken a lot of positives from it. I think she'll have looked at her game and looked at little areas that she's can improve on, and I'm sure she's spent the weeks and months that have passed since then trying to fine-tune those skills.
Johnny, you were here yesterday at the press conference. It was interesting, wasn't it? There was a bit of back and forth between the two, and Savannah, you got the impression that she kind of felt a bit fed up. Like, she just wanted to say her piece. Did you get that impression as well?
Without a doubt, I think what winds Savannah up is the fact that Crews-Dezurn keeps saying this was given to you. As though she's had an easy run of it. And that frustrates Savannah, because up to that point, Savannah was trying to be pretty cool. Now, Crews-Dezurn's got to talk Savannah into fighting how she talks. She needs to draw her into a fight. When she's got that, it makes it a more even night fight for Crews-Dezurn. Yesterday, Savannah was frustrated. She wanted to say a piece, and it was that button, that word of saying it's been given to you. Savannah had to shout facts and to say you had no other choice. This is the shout, this fight's on. She knows she's got the better of her, but it's keeping that intact and tactics intact.
Do you think yesterday Savannah managed to get under Franchón's skin a little bit, did you think?
Vice versa. I think
really?
I think Crews-Dezurn got on Savannah's skin, because Savannah was pretty cool. She'd been like that all the way through. When we did the gloves are off, all the interviews, said what she said and got out of there. She wants to get out of business. Yesterday was the first time I saw her so emotionally invested in this fight, and I thought, you need to just check it back a little bit. She got all flustered. You could see she was upset. And I thought Crews-Dezurn's done a good job there, getting under her skin, drawing her in.
Yeah, you got to remember, Savannah's the one coming off a loss. So, until you get back with a win, you got that little chip on your shoulder, haven't you?
But Matt, could that be a bit of a negative then for Savannah in terms of keeping her emotions in check, or is she so well experienced now that could have been?
It could be a negative, like I say, if she gets off to a bad start and Crews-Dezurn gets ahead, then self-doubt might creep in. But I'd imagine she'll use it to sort of re-motivate herself and really, zone in.
Let's talk a bit about the weight, because Savannah is moving up in weight. We know she carries a lot of power. She herself has said that she feels that this is a better weight for her. She's more comfortable. She seems really, really happy at it. What do you think, Kandi?
Yeah, I think she's pretty much capable of swapping between the two. There's a big difference because 160 and 168, 8 pounds, is a lot. She is tall. She's 5'11", nearly 6 foot, and the fact that she doesn't have to strip any weight this week, it's a nice feeling for a fighter. It's unpleasant having to work down to make that weight. I think Crews-Dezurn is well practiced in it, but I think she probably has to take a reasonable amount off, seeing her at the press conference a month or so ago. But I just saw her check weight and she does look in tremendous shape. I think it would just make Savannah a bit more relaxed this week. I saw all of that slightly differently yesterday because I just got the feeling that she got to a point, Savannah, where she's just bored of listening to Crews-Dezurn because she's quite seamless. When she gets going with her spiel, there's kind of no stopping her, and she talks all the time. And I think Savannah had just got to the point where she thought, I can't listen to this anymore. It's just driving me insane.
And also the Clarissa Shields name keeps getting mentioned, didn't it? And I think Franchón was a bit fed up of that, but Clarissa's going to be with us on Saturday night working with us. She's going to be ringside. How does that affect the dynamic, Johnny? I mean, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
Well, she's wearing two hats. She's coming as Crews-Dezurn's friend and to support her, but she's also coming on business because if Savannah wins, obviously that's going to be an option down the line for the rematch. I think Savannah wins. Savannah is going to be in a position to say, you come to me, I'm not coming down there, this is where I feel better, I boxed better than I did the last time, if you don't think you're that bad, come up to my way. But I think Clarissa's proved she's the best female fighter on the planet, so it's for everybody else to prove otherwise.
I also think it's an interesting thing because mentally having Clarissa there ringside for Savannah, that adds a kind of another dimension to it, Matt.
So say it again.
I said mentally for Savannah, knowing that Clarissa is ringside, it adds another sort of bit to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, also I think there's I think Savannah will feel more pressure for this fight. One, she's coming off a loss, but also if she was to lose tomorrow night, all of a sudden people can say then, she wasn't that good. As soon as she stepped up, she got beaten by Clarissa, and actually Crews-Dezurn beat her as well. So it might probably sort of illegitimises some of her achievements there as well. So I think she'll be quite nervous about this fight tomorrow.
So in terms of game plan, how does Savannah beat Franchón?
Well, Franchón Crews-Dezurn is going to come out quick. I'll be absolutely amazed if she doesn't do that because, like I said, she's the kind of fighter who looks to get on top of you and break you bit by bit, break your will. I want this more than you. I'm tougher than you. You're weaker than me. That's what she basically says to you. So you've got to match her early on. We feel like Savannah Marshall's got better boxing skills, but to make them count, you've got to match the effort. And in these 10-2s, if you get off to a slow start and allow your opponent to build some momentum, it's really, really hard to stop it and then get back. So she's got to go with her in the first few rounds, but do it in an educated way. Try and keep it as long as she can. Bang in the jab, slam in that 1-2, keep it long and loose, but she's got to hit her hard on the way in.
Johnny, you did The Gloves Are Off, which if you haven't watched it, please do go and watch it. It's a brilliant watch. And one thing that was super clear from Franchón is how much hunger and desire there is there, because even though she's the champion, she's got that challenger mentality.
Which makes her a dangerous champion. She comes in there still with hunger. Most champions, once they get it after the first or second defence, they become complacent. They stop doing the things they did to get there in the first place. Whereas Franchón comes here with a proper chip on her shoulder. She comes here talks like a hungry fighter that thinks, this is not enough for me, I need to establish myself. So if you're a champion and you've got that appetite still, it makes you very, very dangerous. So now Savannah's in there. She's not in with a complacent champion. She's in there with a hungry champion, which makes this fight really even.
When you talk about tactics and styles, Savannah's got that very relaxed, fluid, likes time, space. She gets into a rhythm, a groove, she controls. She's really good, but I think Crews-Dezurn's going to be really fast on her, constantly forced to base, knocking her out of that rhythm, not letting her get set. The first few rounds I think are crucial.
It's fascinating, Johnny. Just going back to The Gloves Are Off, what was it like? Because it really felt like a different Gloves Are Off than what we've seen before. Did you feel that?
It was respectful, but no nonsense. Both fighters said what they had to say. Crews-Dezurn, it was her chance to actually let everybody know who she is, sell herself. Let everybody know that she's not here to make the numbers up. Let everybody know that people are thinking past her for a rematch with Savannah and Clarissa. That's not going to happen. And she kept stamping her authority on that, saying, I am not here to make the numbers up. I gave you an opportunity. So you understand, this isn't luck. this is revenge.
You get the impression Franchón's very much eyes on this prize and this prize only. But with a lot of noise around the potential rematch with Savannah and Claressa Shields, is there a chance that Savannah could take her eye off the ball a little bit in this one and look past it, or not?
Look, it's always a danger that people are going to look past, but I think the threat of Crews-Dezurn is so real that I don't think she will. You know what I mean? If it was a really I think that would be more likely to happen if she wasn't as accomplished and maybe it was a routine voluntary defence. But because she's the real deal herself, I don't think that Savannah will. And her pride will be hurt coming off the loss to Claressa. I don't think so, not in this fight.
Just saying how we were saying how Savannah looked relaxed yesterday. I think one of the differences, and she spoke about this, is the fact that her camp and everything has been in Manchester. She's staying at home during fight week and being able to go home and sleep in her bed. And I guess I'll come to you, Johnny, and say that how much of a difference that can make if that suits you as a fighter, being able to go home.
From personal experience, I like to get away from home comforts when it comes to a fight, so you can get your head in the right space. And it's not something you do overnight. It's something that gradually builds up over weeks and weeks, because you've got to become really selfish and really you've got to be like a wounded animal, as though you're prepared to defend everything and anything. So that works for some fighters. Didn't work for me. I think for a lot of the top fighters it doesn't work for them because they need to be out of their own comfort zone.
Okay, right, the fighters are ready to step on the scales. So, let's hand you over to Big Mo and get this underway.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to New Century. Today's site for the official weigh-ins as we head towards tomorrow night's Undisputed Championship contest, live from the AO Arena in Manchester, between Franchón Crews-Dezurn and Savannah Marshall, live on Sky Sports and ESPN+. We would like to thank the official provider of today's weigh-ins, Wow Hydrate. We begin our night tomorrow night with 4 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first to the scales from Blackpool, England, please welcome Jake Nelly Darnell. Official weight 17 stone, 10 pounds, 5 ounces for Jake Darnell.
So 4 rounds of heavyweight between Will Howe and Jake Darnell. Will Howe, who is the stablemate of Savannah Marshall. Jake Darnell, who we saw come in as a late replacement, Johnny, for Fraser Clark. That was his debut. What are you looking for in this one?
It's a chance for him to actually see people to pay attention to him. A chance for him to sharpen his tools. What a great opportunity to do it on such a bill in Manchester. Daniel from Blackpool in Manchester. This could work really in his favour to prepare him for the future.
With it being Will Howe's professional debut, Matt, in particular the heavyweights, there can sometimes be that danger or the risk that they want to really produce that knockout and go for it, but that's not necessarily always the right way to go.
No, I'd say more often than not, it's the wrong way to go. You know, you try and look for the knockout. Quite often you over telegraph, you load up, you try and force things, and you know you don't perform very well. But it's best to just get your jab going, get a distance, and let everything build off that. And if the knockout's there, it'll come.
Andy, what are you expecting? What are you expecting?
I mean, it's a big opportunity for Will Howe, obviously, so he just needs to put on the best performance he can, because there aren't many fights on this card, so this is a really good slot to get. There's only 6 in total, and I think he's fully aware of it. I saw him in a hotel a little bit earlier on. You know, he's really, really looking forward to it. But Darnell's kind of walked this plank a few times. I thought he was a bit unfairly treated when he got pulled out of the crowd, if you like, as people described it, to fight Fraser. That wasn't his fault, and I didn't really like.
He just took his opportunity, really, in that fight.
Yeah, I didn't really like the way people kind of suggest, oh, he's not a proper fighter. He is a proper fighter.
Scheduled for 8 2-minute rounds. Introducing first to the scales from Pensnet, England, she is the former EBU European welterweight champion, Kirsty Babo Babington.
Nobody's doing this for me. Not even behind closed doors.
Official weight 10 stone, 9 pounds, 5 ounces for Kirsty Babington.
Johnny, Kirsty Babington looking very good on the scales there, under the weight limit. April Hunter takes her on for the super welterweight contest. You just said to me, I'm looking forward to this one, and I can understand why. Yesterday it got pretty tasty, didn't it, between these two?
This is a real story, this fight.
There's history, isn't there?
There's real beef history. Hunter was absolutely gutted. Babington got the win over. She was devastated, didn't even want to do an interview after the fight. Now this, as far as she's concerned, will be the direction of her career, because she needs to get through this fight, as far as she's concerned. The funny thing was, Crews-Dezurn and all the crew, they targeted, they focused in on Hunter's support for Savannah. So Hunter does not care what she says. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She needs this win, but Babington does too.
Keeping your emotions in check be something they need to look out for in this one, because yesterday, like I said, it really did get heated between these two.
It did get heated. They went in with their heads, and I thought, come on, you're fighting on Saturday. You could cut each other, cuss each other out, puss each other. Don't do that, because you're defeating the object.
As Johnny said, there's history, there's real beef between these two. For Hunter, Babington's her only loss in her professional career so far. There's a lot at stake here.
Yeah, I think it's a tough fight for April Hunter. You know, she's already been beaten in her career. She's not that experienced. Babington's, a lot more experienced and proven, probably.
Andy, what's this going to come down to?
I mean,
it's the war of the words at the moment.
Yeah, a few different things, I think. For Hunter, she's got to keep her composure, because I thought it was quite an ambitious match to put her in with Babington the first time, because Hunter wasn't that experienced. Babington is experienced, she's won a European title. She boxed Kandi Wyatt in what was essentially a world title eliminator.
She's fighting Tasha Jonas on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. She's been places that Hunter hasn't been, so she's got to keep her cool and just stick to the plan. Because people have had quite a lot to say about her. She's had quite a lot to say, but she's kind of been cast as Savannah's mate by Caressa Shields and all the rest of it. And do you really deserve to be here? Tomorrow night she's got to show us that she does deserve to be here.
All right, well, let's hear from Kirsty now.
Repeat, or will it be revenge in this one? Tell us what happens tomorrow night.
Repeat. That's it. End of. End of career and get it done.
Do you believe that she could make any adjustments to what she did last time?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a repeat, and that's it.
And what about you? What sort of fight are you actually expecting from April?
Nothing different to the last one. It's just going to be exactly the same. She'll probably try and fight a bit like Savannah. But yeah, it is what it is, and repeat.
I know it won't make a difference to you either way, but do you want to put an exclamation point on it this time and win this one by stoppage? Can you win this one by stoppage?
Well, it depends how it goes, but yeah. I'm winning either way, and that's it. I'm just going to go all out for the 8 rounds.
Kirsty, thanks very much. Let's bring in April. What can you do differently this time that you didn't do first time round?
Everything's going to be different. I don't know, if you think you're getting the same April Hunter tomorrow night, wow, Kirsty, you're massively underestimating me, and that's music to my ears. Because you're going to feel a different animal in there, and that's a promise.
What changes have you made that you can tell us?
Everything's different. My team's different, my mindset's different, everything. New weight, feeling strong, physically fit. Had so many problems before the last fight, but no excuses. You'll see on Saturday night.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Johnny, a real air of confidence there coming from April Hunter.
Yeah, but Babington, what she did was she properly calmed it down. She didn't get involved in the pushing and pushing. She put her hand out to shake her hand, and it totally threw Hunter, because Hunter thought she was going to get a bit of beef. And then Babington turned back to the corner people and just had a smile on her face. She knows exactly what she's doing to try and get under her skin.
With 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland, ladies and gentlemen, Horace Blade Crichton. 13 pounds for Blade, Boris Crichton.
10 rounds, a light heavyweight then between Callum Simpson and Boris Crichton. Johnny, I'm sure you're well aware of Callum Simpson. He's very much on your radar. 11-0, won 9 inside the distance. A lot of buzz around Callum Simpson. How impressive have you been with him so far?
This is a good test, good fight for Callum Simpson, because if he's a fighter where people are saying he is, he should get the job done here. But this is not a pushover opponent. This guy stepped in 1 week's notice against Lyndon Arthur, lost on points, but he gave him hellfire. So Callum Simpson needs to understand he's in with a fighter that can do the 10-round distance. That's hungry, that's strong, that's gym fit, fight fit. This isn't a pushover. He has the support. If he's got the support, he's going to step up to mark.
Not an easy fight at all for Callum Simpson. Boris Crichton as well, he's been extremely active so far this year. This is his 4th fight already. What are you expecting? What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Well, that's the way he should be. You know, where he's at in his career, you should be that active, and it's great to see. He carries genuine power. We'll have to see what level he can produce the goods at, but this is a proper fight for him, and I like the way he's staying active and he's taking proper fights. It will only help for his development.
Callum Simpson has made no secret that he's seen the likes of the things that have been happening in Bournemouth with Chris Billam-Smith. He's seen the sort of star you can become and have those brilliant shows. He wants a piece of that. He wants to recreate that in Barnsley, but he has to get through Saturday night to kind of get that on track and make those sort of shows happen.
Oh yeah, he can see it all there in front of him, and it's real because it is there in front of him. You know, he's a good-looking kid. He's got support. He's got a good style to watch. He can really punch. When you listen to him on the pads, some people make a slightly different noise on the pads to other people.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, if you're a sharp, hard puncher, you just make a bit more of a pinging sound on the pads, and you could hear that at Champs Camp the other day. He can do that. It's that slightly more violent explosion of air, basically, when you hit the pad. So he can definitely whack. What we don't know is what's his chin like. I really like Boris. He was a good amateur. He can look at things and think, why aren't I in the home corner? But he needs to get in the home corner by winning away corner fights. So I do expect a good fight. And if Boris will be looking to test his chin. He'll be looking at Callum Simpson and just thinking, you've got everything going for you, mate, but let's see what happens when I crack you on.
Is this going the distance, do you think?
Well, you know, Steve Woodall beat Boris. He was on points. He was competitive. I mean, he won clearly, Steve Woodall did, but that's interesting because he's a good fighter, Steve Woodall, good amateur, etc. Gone off the ball a little bit, but you know, if Callum Simpson can go in there and get the win and do it inside the distance, you'd have to say that would be an impressive win.
Yeah, it would be, absolutely. I mean, this is a good fight. This is a proper fight because, you know, Crichton went the distance at short notice with Lyndon Arthur. He stays in unbelievable shape. He's heavily into his CrossFit. He looks into every aspect of it. And he's winding Callum Simpson up here is what he's doing. We can't really hear it, but what he's saying to him is, you've had this given to you, mate. You've got this platform. You don't deserve it. I'm going to teach you a lesson. Get ready.
It's interesting, isn't it, Johnny? The back and forth between those two. And as Andy's just said there, Boris Crichton very much saying that Callum's had it all handed on the plate, and he's got a point to prove on Saturday.
He has, and you know what? You've got to be careful because you've got to back up the boast, and that looks like what's going to happen there on the stage. We're boasting, so let's see if we can back it up.
All right, let's hear from Boris now. He's with Andy.
Boris, what can you tell us on camera that you just said to Callum Simpson there? You obviously had a fair bit to say to each other.
You see, he was talking about how I've been dropped by people before, and he thinks that getting dropped is a weakness. Absolutely not. It takes heart for a fighter to get put down, stand back up and go again. Do you understand what I mean? And it's something that he's not had to feel and had to dig inside him to find that. And when I put him down tomorrow, we'll see if he's got the heart to stand up and come back and fight me. We'll see, we'll find out. So,
my understanding of these negotiations is that they chose you, they gave you notice. Do you believe that Boxer and Benchlon have made a mistake here?
That's their problem. We'll find out tomorrow. If they made a mistake, then we'll find out tomorrow. But you know what? I've come here to do a job. I'm not focused about what their team has to do and what they've said, whether they picked me or they didn't pick me. Good for them. Do you know what I mean? It makes no difference to me whatsoever.
I met you in Poland, and I asked, do you want to get a win out there and then sort of wreck the light heavyweight stable of boxer and Ben Shlom. You said, no, my best weight, my natural weight is at super middleweight. Is this what suits you best?
I mean, I came in at 11-13 there, so absolutely. You know what I mean, I'm making the way easy, making the way happy, and you know, I just wanna. I don't want to go too much to Zach, but Zach, I hope that you're weighing in just a little bit lower than that 12 stone, because making the weight isn't a big deal, and I think we all think that it's all of that. Like I said, when I've had the time, I've been able to make the weight and train the way I want to train, and you know, put things in perspective and work on stuff that, you know, I didn't have the time to work on before. I'm feeling good.
Good stuff. Thank you for talking to us, Boris. Let's bring Callum up. You might have a slightly different take on what was said there. You had a couple of things to say to him yesterday, and what did you say to him today?
Yeah, so he's on about I'm fighting bus drivers, but in my 9th fight, I fought the same guy that he fought in his 10th fight. I dropped him twice in the first round, knocked him out in the first, and he won on points. So in his 10th fight, the fight after me, so why am I dropping the guys in the first round and he's taking him to points? So like I told him, we'll see Saturday, we'll see some rear power Saturday, and whenever he does step up, he gets dropped and he loses, and the same's going to happen again on Saturday.
Shout out to all the bus drivers out there. There's a thing, I think, you know, people know on the scene how good you are, but is this the fight to prove it? Boris Crichton is proven at a level, and people know how good he is. If you're going to cement your status as this prospect that we should all be watching out for, you have to do it under the bright lights tomorrow night. Yeah, 100%. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely a good step up for me. It's my toughest test yet. Definitely going to be my hardest fight yet, and I'm looking forward to a tough fight. And after this one, you know, I'll be looking for that title next, Chelly. Whoever wins that title on Saturday, we're looking for that next, you know. Like, everyone in the top 10 in the UK, super middleweights. You know, like I said, I feel like I'm going to plough through them all. If I'm as good as I believe I am, as I'm saying I am, then I need to prove it on Saturday and keep on proving it. Shout out to the Barnsley faithful as well. You had the flag up there, you had the scarf up there, and you brought some fans today. What sort of atmosphere are you expecting tomorrow? I think it's going to be full of red in the AO Arena tomorrow. You know, there's a few coaches, the Barnsley coaches coming through. So yeah, shout out to all the bus drivers, the coach drivers. I'll not be fighting none of them. But yeah, so there's going to get plenty of support on Saturday night or tomorrow night. And it's going to be a good night. Yeah. Finish with a prediction. I'm not going to go with a prediction. Fireworks, excitement. That's all it's going to be. Killed my buzz there, but thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. 10 rounds of super middleweight there between Callum Simpson and Boris Crichton. Callum, he wants to bring those big boxing nights to Barnsley. Johnny, how good would that be?
It'd be really good. And he's showing the interest and the appetite for him now. His coaches are following him all over the place to his weigh-in, never mind to his fight. So again, if he builds that momentum, gets him going, they'll have Barnsley behind him.
Fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, he comes to us with a perfect, undefeated record of 15 victories, no defeats, with 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Chorley, England, he is the former Central Area Super Middleweight Champion and the current WBO Global Super Middleweight Champion. Here is Mark Jeffers. Official weight 11 stone, 13 pounds, 5 ounces for Mark Jeffers.
Zach Jelly, Mark Jefferson for the Commonwealth, vacant Commonwealth Silver Super Middleweight Championship, Johnny. Zach Jelly, he's been a little bit unlucky so far in terms of opponents, hasn't he? Jeffers again coming in at a couple of weeks' notice. Yeah,
but you've got to give credit to him, because even though the opponents have changed, it really affects a lot of fighters. He still gets in there and gets the job done, adapts, and that's what he says is his strength. He's able to adapt to anybody and everybody. He's got ambition. This man's given up his career to give his life to boxing, and he's sharp. He's on it. His dad's just has a fighting appetite as he does. But this would be a good fight. I like everything about Zach Jelly's attitude when it comes to fighting.
It's been so far so good for him, really, and he had a good year last year, didn't he? And he's starting to get that momentum behind him as well, and he'll be looking to continue that on Saturday, hopefully, for him.
That's what any fighter needs. They need momentum and opportunity, and there's an opportunity to showcase your skills. Momentum is in sharpening your tools to let people see you out there. So in doing that, you know, it can only become a better fighter. And look, Callum Simpson saying, I'm chasing you. You know, there's people behind him that are on him, and I can see that fight actually happen down the line.
Jeffers coming in at just a couple of weeks' notice, Andy, but he's a fighter that's ready, and he's a fighter that he said yesterday he's had his eye on Zach Jelly and this kind of fight for a good couple of years now, so he's prepared and he is ready.
Oh, he's as ready as you can ever be to take a fight of this kind of notice. You know, he's obsessed with his fitness. You see the shape he's in, from a family of athletes. Both his siblings are pro cyclists.
You mentioned yesterday about some of the fitness stuff he does, which is incredible. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, so he did a 100k run from his house to the Lake District and back again in 11 hours, a 200-mile bike ride. You know, the dad did well in his business, so they've all been able to dedicate themselves, the kids, to their sport. So that's where he's coming from. He feels he's ready. But
that's what Matt does on a Sunday.
Yeah, very regularly. But in the Chellies, we were just talking about it, me and Matt, in the Chellies, we've got a pair of stone cold boxing lunatics. And I say that
in a good way.
I say that with great affection. Because you imagine a scene in their house, they will think about, talk about, watch, digest, eat, sleep, breathe boxing from the moment they get up to the moment they go to bed. That's what they do.
Is this one going to catch fire, Matt?
I hope so, and I think so. I mean, Chelly's pretty intense character, and he doesn't mind digging down and getting into the trenches. So, yeah, I hope so.
Well, Mark is just popping his t-shirt on. He's going to be making his way over to Andy. This will be an opportunity, Johnny. He'll be looking to seize. It's his chance to shine on Saturday.
Yes, and now there's a target on both fighters, so let's see how we can step up to the mark.
All right, let's hear from Mark now. He's with Andy.
Mark, first off, without you stepping up and filling in for Mark Heffron, Zach Chelli wouldn't have a fight, so thanks very much. But with the notice, you're already in the gym and you're ready to fight. How did you feel on the scales there?
Yeah, I was 12 stone last week. I'm ready to go. Like this, I'm doing no favours here coming. I'm coming here to take over. That's it, Aki lads.
He was always on your radar anyway, so you know about him. What sort of fight are you expecting?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. Everyone knows that. He's strong, he's fit. But there's a lot of people in boxing know just what I'm capable of. You're going to see that Saturday night.
Definitely, I think that has been doing the rounds. Everybody says you just needed the platform and the shop window. This is it on Saturday night, so surely you intend to take it with both hands. What can we expect from you?
Jeffers win, that's it.
Good stuff. You got some support in here. You got a final word for them?
Yeah, obviously you can't thank the fans enough who come watch me all the time. Like I said, there was about 200 tickets. Only got the tickets last week, so yeah, can't thank them enough. Few here today. Big characters. Let's go.
Best of luck. It's a different Mark. First off, I mean, you've been a bit of a target today, catching strays. You've been called out more than you ever have been.
Yeah, well, there are a few super middleweights on this card, and I've got the title they all want, so I'm sure they'll be after me.
Different Mark, but the goal remains the same?
A different Mark, same story, and we'll get the other Mark the next fight.
Do you feel you've got this momentum behind you now? You know, yes, you've had injuries go against you in terms of pullouts and changes of opponents, but from your side, you can only control the controllables. And do you feel actually now that you're in your stride?
Yeah, well, it's a credit to me, really. If people are scared of me, they're pulling out before the fight. It just shows they know the level I am. And unfortunately, Mark Jeffers, he doesn't know that. But the ones at a high level, they know that, and he'll find out on Saturday.
Will you give us a prediction of how you think this fight goes?
As always, Zach Chelli knockout, inshallah.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Zach's actually the second teacher we've got on our card tomorrow night, because Kirsty Babington is also a PE teacher as well, so repping the school teachers, although Zach's not a teacher anymore.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I can imagine. I can't picture it, to be honest with you. Zach Chelli is
even the suits and the dresses, come on.
Well, I mean, the suits, I'm here for the suits. You know, I like their vibe, I like their intensity. I think it's very engaging. It's what you want. They arrive for fight week ready. They've got something to say. They want to get in some faces. They want a bit of back and forth. And, you know, this is the entertainment business. And the entertainers in the ring too.
Kandi Wyatt just coming a little bit under there. She takes on Natasha Jonas, and what an opportunity, Johnny, for Natasha on Saturday night. She is bidding to become a two-weight world champion. Just put into context, the last sort of 18 months for Natasha have been pretty special, haven't they?
Not just the last 18 months, the whole career, from being the whole...
A lot of firsts, isn't there?
Yeah, the hope, then dash to say she's shot, then to pull everything around to say, look what I'm doing. All the success is coming in the back end of her career, as they'd say. And again, I think she gets success again Saturday night. I think she has the skill, pedigree, intelligence and appetite with a fighter with so much natural talent.
10 stone, 6 pounds, 5 ounces.
10 stone, 6 pounds, 5 ounces for Natasha Jonas, just coming in slightly under there, Andy. Tasha's actually coming down in weight for this one, but that could suit her well.
Yeah, I think so. For her 3 fights at super welter, she weighed in at 10 stone 9, probably got in the ring at about the same, so she's just got to trim a bit off, and you know, this might be her best weight, this or super lightweight maybe, but I'd imagine welterweight's probably where she would feel most comfortable.
In terms of Wyatt as an opponent for her, Joe Gallagher said by all means this is not an easy night for Natasha ahead of her, but what do you think?
I think so long as she's zoned in, which I can't imagine she won't be, and she executes the plan that they'll have meted out for her, then she'll win, and she could win quite comfortably. If you stand in front of Wyatt and make it into a war, then you give her a chance. So she basically just needs to not do that. Just use the boxing skills, find the southpaw angles, spin around that front foot, and just keep her turning and keep her moving, because Kandi Wyatt, let's be honest, she's stiff and pretty slow, but she's
Tasha's footwork is so on point.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What do you think, Matt? What do you think will be the difference?
Yeah, that, and we was about Natasha, but she hits hard as well, doesn't she? She's got good balance, she's got good powers, particularly in the right hook, and yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if she got the stoppage, in fact.
You get the feeling around Natasha right now that there's almost no stopping her.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's kind of coming into her own now, isn't she? This is her time. I think she's at her peak, so I think she knows that, and she's really making the most of it.
I think I heard somewhere, I think it might have even been on the podcast this week, Andy Scott said that Joe Gallagher had rumoured that should Natasha win on Saturday, that perhaps she should, call it a day on a high. I'm not sure I agree with that. I feel like she's really, not that I have any influence on Tasha's career at all, but she very much is coming into her own now, and there are plenty more fights out there, really big money fights out there for her still.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's never going to do that, and Joe knows she's never going to do that. Joe's a master of putting things out there just for his own entertainment more than anything else a lot of the time. Joe Gallagher is one of the most driven, most ambitious blokes you'll ever meet in your life.
As is Tasha.
Yeah, and so he doesn't want this to end now with Tasha Jonas. No chance.
Okay, well, we're going to hear from Kandi Wyatt now. She's making her way over to Andy. Okay, let's go.
Kandi, plenty of respect between the two of you all week. What happens when the first bell rings?
Respect stays the same, but it's a fight. We're both coming to fight. We're both coming to win, but the respect stays the same.
What sort of fight are you expecting from Natasha Jonas? Presumably you've seen her, albeit up at a higher weight. With that in mind, have you done anything differently to prepare for this?
We expect a good, clean, tidy, technical boxing match. So we adjusted our game plan. Just come on Saturday and find out.
You've travelled over here before. You've won over here before. You've been in sort of enemy territory and hostile atmospheres. I'm not going to lie, you're probably going to get a few boos tomorrow night. How will that feel?
I don't care. Actually, I really don't. I've said it before, England's a fight country, and I'm excited to be in a country that's excited about boxing. So boo me all you want. I really don't care.
Yeah, you should wear it as a badge of honour. Let me just ask you, have you got a final prediction? Fourth time is a charm. You coined that phrase yesterday. What would it mean to finally get your hands on a world title?
A dream come true. So, yeah, Natasha better be ready. I expect she's going to be ready, but this is everything I've been working for since I was a little kid. So it'd be a dream come true.
You got a message for everyone back home?
Love you. Thank you for your support. I'll see you when I get home.
Best of luck. Let's bring in Tasha Jonas. Tasha, a new weight for you, but there's an argument that this is a weight that would have suited you better all along. How did you feel on the scales today?
Yeah, I've always been comfortable at super welter. It was never a struggle, obviously. I never weighed in anywhere near the 154 limit. I think 149 was the highest I've ever weighed in. So, you know, that extra pound, it's nothing really when you're in the scheme of things. So, yeah, it's comfortable, fully hydrated, energised, and just ready to go.
Will it make any difference when the first bell rings?
I think it may do for her because, you know, I had to build myself up to be able to compete physically with the 154 females that I was competing against. So I think I'm going to bring that strength back down with me.
Yeah, for the first time, do you think, well, not for the first time, but do you think actually that may favour you, that you may be the stronger woman of the two in there?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely within the last 3 fights anyway.
You're all about making statements, and I've said this to you earlier in the week, but if you would have been offered one world title at one weight at the start, you would have taken it, but now the chance to become a 2-weight world champion, what will that mean to you?
Everything. It just puts everything into perspective, you know, and everything that we do in the gym, in our home life and my family, and sacrifices that we all make to make it all worth it.
Let's do it at an arena that's been really good to you, in all truth.
Yeah, it's been really lucky for me. Out of the 3 title fights that I had last year, 2 of them were in Manchester, and obviously one was a knockout, one was a points decision. So yeah, it's brought me a lot of luck. I'm an honorary monk, even though I'm Scouse. So it's a pleasure to be there in there.
You said that through gritted teeth, but best of luck.
Thank you.
I thought that was quite a brave thing to say from Natasha. She's the honorary monk from Liverpool, but the nights in Manchester have been really special so far, and Saturday, Andy, really it sets it up so beautifully, doesn't it? It's going to be a brilliant atmosphere in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great going to the arena, always, and Tasha's right. She's had some really good performances here. When we saw her in November pick up that 3rd world title, that's the kind of fight that it could turn into a bit in the second half. You know, she had to hold her ground against De Guerre, and it got a bit difficult in there at times, so she's got that in her locker if she needs it.
She seems very confident though. There's a real air of belief and like I say, confidence.
Yeah, because she'll look at Kandi Wyatt and she'll have watched her and she will know I am better than you. And so for me to win this fight, I just have to make sure I want it as much as you. That's it.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner tomorrow night here in Manchester. He hails from Darlaston, West Midlands, England. He is undefeated. 3 wins, no defeats. 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is the Olympic silver medalist, and he is boxing's newest superstar. Here is Ben, the Surgeon, Whittaker.
Ben Whittaker versus Vladimir Beluski, 8 rounds at light heavyweight. Just look at Ben Whittaker. He is the ultimate cool customer, isn't he? He's so far, he's walked the walk, he's talked the talk, and it has really been so far so good. He's looking for win number 4 on Saturday. Johnny, do you think he's going to get it?
Got razzle dazzle show business written all over him, stardust sprinkled all over him. This young man, you just see it. Look at the vibe, look at the energy. He's a cheap support for Saturday night.
Looks in great shape.
Brings everything with him, and right now he's training like he's a fight for a world title. Every single fight looks next condition. Afterwards, we did a little piece yesterday. He said, no matter what you see here, I went hard behind the scenes. He just makes it look easy.
I think Fraser Clark said that about GB Squad, that even when he was doing all his music and he was sort of getting involved with all that outside the ring, he never had any doubts that he wouldn't deliver in the ring, because his sole focus is boxing.
Anna, this is the fun bit. This is where the fighters play with everybody else. Like to whatever act, whatever face they want to put on, this is where they play that game. This is part of it. The hard bit's being done.
Matt, how talented is Ben Whittaker? Of course, it's early days. There's a lot of hype around him, but in your opinion, how much of a future star could he be?
Oh, I don't think I couldn't put a limit on his talent. He's got great athletic ability. He's got reflexes. He's got the confidence in his reflexes and in his own ability. He's got the movement. Sharp. He can punch a bit too. It looks so far to have all the ingredients. He's even got that bit of star quality, whether you like that or you don't. You're talking about him, aren't you? And yeah, he looks like somebody that could go all the way.
Andy, Big Bad Vlad stands in his way on Saturday night, but can you see him causing Ben any problems, or are we going to see what we've kind of seen from Ben so far, the showboating, the skill, the flair?
Yeah, I think so, because Vlad, he's a decent fighter. He went the distance with Jack Cullen, who's a good fighter, good aggressive fighter, into the 8th with Karol Latama, who's a skillful fighter. The Whittaker is just levels above them, and that's the reality. I just can't wait to see him again. I can't wait to see him again. He's when you come across someone about whom everyone says the same thing, which is that they are that good.
Because normally there's a couple of people that don't agree or have their opinion, but everyone seems to be pretty unanimous, don't they, when it comes to Ben Whittaker?
100%, everyone is on the same page.
Yeah, and look, these are people that, whose opinions you respect, but also that's backed up on what he did in the Olympics as well.
We'll hear from Ben in just a moment, but let's hear from Vladimir. He's with Andy.
Big Bad Vlad, it's a great shop window for you to show us what you're all about. But I'm intrigued, when you know that you're facing someone like Ben Whittaker with all the hype and all the reputation, how much do you listen to that, or how much do you just focus on yourself?
It's just another day for me. It doesn't matter. I've faced good fighters before. He's just another good fighter I'm facing, and it's the same thing, another day.
Is it a good pressure, though? You're the man that can sort of derail this hype train?
Yeah, of course. I enjoy it. I enjoy the moment, and the pressure is good.
With all of the tricks that he has, and he is a boxer tricks, what's the way to beat him?
Strong, powerful, fast, and try to go for the knockout.
Good stuff. Nice to meet you. Let's bring in the surgeon, Ben Whittaker. Yes, he is here. Ben, come on up. He's going for the knockout. Presumably that's music to your ears.
Yeah, that was cute, bless him. But they've said it before, they're all coming for the knockout. That's what I want. He comes to the knockout, opens up doors for me, and that's all she wrote.
Look great on the scales there. There's absolutely nothing left on that frame. How did you feel up there?
I look good in it. Yeah. I look really good. Hey, tell him again. Yeah, I look really good, but that's just part of the hard work, I work very hard and it shows.
Got anything special planned for tomorrow?
I can't give it all away. He called himself what? Big Bad Vlad? Call me Big Ben then. You know what I mean? Call me Big Ben.
Yeah, the bells will be chiming. Let me just ask you, there's good pressure on you every single time because you're being hyped up, you're being built up. Is that the sort of build-up that you like? There's pressure on you to go out and perform each and every time?
There's been pressure ever since I was an amateur, so I rise to the occasion all the time. And if there's no pressure, you don't perform, so that's what I like.
Sugar Hill, thank you for joining us. Behind closed doors, what have you seen from him that will improve on what we saw last time?
Just his strengths and his ability to set up, those power shots, the ones that gets him out of there. And I don't know, for some reason he just looks taller right now. I'm standing next to him. I want to check out what kind of shoes and stuff he got on. He's looking like a giant.
We need to get him some stilts, man. We need to get him some stilts.
Well, presumably this outfit, I'm going to step back. The drip, I think that's the right terminology, Ben. The drip is there's some colours in there today. Whose design is this?
This is the shoes is like the roots of the Jamaican, wagwan, and then the rest of the whole outfit is pretty much the same thing. Got the gold, the black, the green, just mix it up a little bit.
Just finally, what do you want to see from him tomorrow?
Just want to see him have fun, be creative, and just work on the things that we worked on. He has so much fun doing it in the gym, and I just want to be able to see him go out there and have fun and do it.
Good stuff. Wish you all the best.
I don't know about you, Johnny, but I am very much enjoying that drip.
Yeah. We had that conversation on the walls. I thought, I think it might clash with my eyes.
Oh, no, we get you in that. You can pull that off.
Last year, we saw a call-out occur after the biggest night in the history of women's boxing between the United States and the United Kingdom. They want to do it again. As Ben Shalom and Boxer and Sky Sports continue to lead the charge in the featuring, the presentation, and the growth of women's boxing, we see another undisputed championship bout come to British soil as the United States has taken their belts and brought them here. Ladies and gentlemen, our main event live from the AO Arena in Manchester tomorrow night on Sky Sports and ESPN Plus and broadcasted around the world. 10 2-minute rounds for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, the challenger. Fighting out of the blue corner tomorrow night, she comes to us with an impressive record of 12 victories versus just 1 defeat, with 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. She is from Hartlepool, England. She is the 2-time Olympian. She is the former WBO champion of the world and the former undisputed championship contender. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the silent assassin, Savannah Marshall. Official weight 11 stone, 13 pounds for Savannah Marshall.
Savannah Marshall looking good on the scales, Johnny. She's ready to go.
And her opponent,
this is the level
the champion.
This is where the level
she comes to us
and the
from
way that she
Baltimore,
really comes
Maryland, the 410
Look at the frame compared to the last time when she went out against Clarissa. There was nothing on her. Now she's comfortable. She looks full. Back, shoulders look on point. Crews-Dezurn is pumped there in the corner, shouting at her introduction, but she's really pumped, like a hungry champion.
Hitting diva, Franchón Crews-Dezurn. Official weight 11 stone, 13 pounds, 5 ounces for the undisputed champion of the world, Franchón.
We have a fight, and it's a fight. It doesn't really get much better than this. That strap line at the top there that we can see, all or nothing, and that is exactly, that embodies this whole fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's the way she fights. I seen her pro debut, and literally against Clarissa Shields, the bell went, and then it was just a ding dong, and then neither girl let up. She stood toe to toe with Clarissa. She got beaten, but I'm telling you, it was a great fight. That was over 4 rounds. You know, I expect her to probably start like that, unless Savannah can kind of, tame her early with some hard shots. It's a bit hard fight.
And that hunger, we spoke about it at the top of the show today, Andy. That could make Franchón pretty dangerous on Saturday. We know what she's achieved outside the ring, the music, the fashion, you name it, she's done it. She's a self-promoted fighter as well. That's not the norm, and she's so far delivered the business in the ring, and she's coming here because she wants to make a statement over here in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. That's who she is. That's what she's about. She sees a goal, and it's route one, A to B. I'm going to achieve this, and nobody is going to stop me. And that's the way she fights, because you get certain fighters who try and do it a number of different ways. She does it the one way. She says to you, this is what I do, now you try and stop me doing it. And it's hard to stop someone doing it, because she is aggressive, and she will take it to Savannah Marshall, and she will make that quick start. And Marshall has got to be up to it. She's got to go with her, but keep her composure. She's going to try and make Savannah Marshall panic. That's what she tries to do, make you panic and break your will.
Again, Franchón is trying to get in Savannah's face, isn't she, Johnny? She's trying to get under her skin.
This is the last chance she is going to be able to get in her head. Look at the crew she's got behind her. She's got to get in her face. She's got to try and intimidate her. She's got to try and dog her down. Savannah is more or less stood there by herself to show the confidence how cool she is.
I think Savannah's enjoying this.
Yeah, she's playing the game. Savannah's enjoying it because she knows if I stick to the plan, I get this win. She deviates, she doesn't.
I'm not sure it's been successful. Savannah's just having a wry smile. Doesn't seem to have got to her.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it really has over the course of the build-up. And I think she'll just be really happy now, Savannah, that finally all of this is over now. She doesn't have to put up with this anymore. She doesn't have to listen to Crews-Dezurn anymore.
The interesting thing is, we've just seen Ben Whittaker take the stage, and he's a fighter that very much enjoys the fight week. He loves the spotlight being on him. Savannah, this is not so much something that she really, finds her natural environment, but she still does it. The two very different, contrasting fighters.
Yeah, really different, and I'd imagine she would love to tune out of it and just kind of absent herself sometimes, but like you say, this is a business, you have to do it.
All right, let's hear from Savannah now. She's with Andy.
A lot of people up on this stage, a lot of energy up on this stage, a long head-to-head. Within reason, what you can tell us, what did you have to say to each other on stage there?
I didn't get what she was going to say. I was just saying, this is it, but Mama, we're getting it on tomorrow night. This is it.
New weight, how did you feel on the scales there?
I feel really good, really good. I've had a really good camp. I feel strong, full of energy. Can't wait to go.
Too early to say, perhaps, but is this more of a natural weight for you and your frame?
Yeah, I feel like it is. I'm 8 pounds heavier, and I'm thinking, how did I ever make middle?
Will you be confident enough to give us a prediction tomorrow, or is it just win at all costs and we can talk about it after?
Win at all costs. Points, KO, TKO, anything.
You sold a lot of tickets for tomorrow. You've got a lot of people coming, and I think some of that is from what happened in October, and I think some of those are returning customers. Just a final shout out to your fans.
Thank you for everyone who bought a ticket, everyone who's coming, everyone who's going to turn in, because without you I wouldn't be in this position, so I'm eternally grateful.
And a two-weight world champion. Best of luck. Thank you. Good luck, Peter, as well. Franchón. I'll just fill the dead air here. Franchón just making her way back up on stage. Franchón, off stage there, as you could hear Savannah getting introduced, you said, yeah, first loser.
Yeah. It's all good, though. We here to fight. Saturday is going to be a great night. I'm glad she's fired up, so I got a live dog in front of me that I'm going to put down. She said, wait till she hit me. I went 10 rounds with a steroid cheat. I'm not worried about a first-place loser.
I think the truth is I got dog walked yesterday, but what did you have to say to her at the head-to-head there?
Oh, I told her, you know what time it is. I'm here. I'm going to give it to you stupid. I'm going to give it to you smart. I'm going to give it to you any way you want it. And still.
You come here with a big team and a lot of energy. Is that a sign of how confident you are?
I could have came here by myself and my husband like I did at the press conference and still be confident. You got to understand, I'm not here. I'm not a hype. Win, lose, or draw, I'm still a champion, but I'm not coming to lose, and I'm just here to fight for respect and legacy.
Obviously, because we've done the majority of Savannah's career, we're more focused on in terms of her punch power and what she's achieved. The heavy-hitting diva, it's not an ironic nickname. As I stand here in front of you now, would you be confident enough to say that if you hit her and you hit her clean, that you could put her away? Not that that would be the game plan, but could you knock her out?
Anything is possible. I'm coming to win. Whatever way, I got plenty of routes to get to that destination. Whatever way is the best and the quickest way is going to happen. I'm coming to fight. As you can see, I'm in very good shape. My conditioning, mentally, physically, spiritually is on point, and I'm coming to put in some work.
Got a message for everybody back home that'll be watching?
Oh yeah, shout out to everybody around the world, because I don't just have friends in the States, I got friends all over the world. This is a big moment, not only for me and Savannah, but for women's boxing and the sport of boxing, period. So support, and thank you guys for supporting.
You worked hard to get all those belts. You'll be taking them home tomorrow?
Of course. And if I don't, we're going to have to re-up, but that ain't happening.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Andy Franchón speaks so well, and I think the thing there, that this fight, this top of the bill, it's not just a good fight for women's boxing, it's just a great fight, full stop, for boxing.
Yeah, it is. What we have seen, though, in women's pro boxing in recent times is great matchups of personalities. So we have one with Shields and Marshall. We've got a similar kind of thing here. But I do think that Crews-Dezurn takes the build-up and the self-promotion and the chat to an entirely different level. Caressa Shields is good at it, but Crews-Dezurn, I would say, is as good at it as anyone I've ever seen, to be honest, because she's got that mixture of being spiky, of being quite close to the bone, but she's also really pretty likeable, and that's quite difficult to pull off. And she's walked the walk. She's the champ, and she's not slow to let you know it.
It's exactly that, isn't it? It's pushing the limit so far, but also being measured with it. Never oversteps the mark, Matt.
Who's that? So
Franchón. Hello.
No, I didn't know what you said. It's hard hearing here. No, she's look, both girls are super confident, as you'd expect. They've trained well, the preparations have gone well.
they're champions. You know, okay, I know Savannah isn't champion coming into this one, but she has been her whole career and life. So, look, it's a proper fight. I don't know who's going to win. It could go either way.
And that's what makes it a great fight, Johnny. On the stage there, Franchón's presence was much bigger, wasn't it, than Savannah? Savannah was pretty much there solo. Is that part of the tactics? Is that all part of Franchón's game plan starting from now?
It's that big fight feel. First of all, like Franchón said, you've got to respect both of these fighters. 8,000 tickets have gone to fill out the AO arena because of these two fighters. The attention this has drawn to women's boxing, it puts it on a different level of respect and want from other young fighters coming through. This fight will be a proper showcase, win, lose or draw, for any fighter. So I'm actually looking forward to the whole build-up, being professional, being great, being respectful, such respecting both fighters for where they've come to.
Definitely. With those 8,000 fans that are going to be packed in that Manchester arena tomorrow night, a lot of the sport will be for Savannah, but that's surely not going to trouble Franchón. She said yesterday she's a lion. I think she almost would enjoy it, to be honest.
Exactly. Some people like that. The pressure's on Savannah, and but they'll still feed off that energy, you know. So yeah, I don't think that'll phase her one bit. If anything, that'll fuel her.
So Andy, what's it going to come down to? Is it going the distance? Are we going to see a statement? Is Savannah going to be coming to look and put on a show and send a message out to Clarissa, who'll be standing ringside with us? What do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to get a good fight. I think that Franchón is going to start quick because that's what she always does. Everything she does outside and inside the ring is designed to try and find a weakness in you. If she could find...
gave it a good go today, didn't she? Even just getting in Savannah's face.
That's it. Everything she does, she's looking for something. And if you've got the inclination to fold under pressure, that's what she's looking for. And she will back herself to make it happen. So Savannah Marshall, she's going to have to meet her in the first few rounds. She's got no choice. That doesn't mean it needs to be a firefight. It doesn't mean you need to swing recklessly. But she's got to pop out that jab, throw that right hand, and ideally catch her on the way in with something hard enough that makes her think, okay, well, maybe I can't just walk in on this woman.
Because that's what she's respect.
Done. Yeah, and 100% she has to.
And starting from the get-go for Savannah, it is super, super important from her, isn't it?
No, the respect, because otherwise it's going to be a really hard fight because she's going to force the pace. And, you know, Savannah does like a bit of distance, does like a bit of room, likes a slower pace because she's got that very relaxed, fluid style. And she gets into a rhythm, you know, she's brilliant. But, you know, I think Dezurn's going to really force the tempo, try and close the distance, knock her off balance, not let her get set, not let her settle into a rhythm. You know, so that's why I think the first few rounds will be key because it could set the tone of the fight.
Franchón, heavy-hitting diva. Savannah Marshall carries awesome power, also going up in ways. That's surely only going to increase even more. Johnny, is this going the distance, or is this going to be
I think
game
both
over?
fighters hit hard enough to hurt each other, but both fighters are smart enough not to get stopped. I think it goes to the distance, but it'll be a bruising battle for both fighters because Savannah will have to, at a point, stand there and really hit Crews-Dezurn hard to get her respect. Because Crews-Dezurn knows she's got to get him close and personal to let the shot soft, throw the big right hands over the top, negate Savannah's jab as it comes through. So she knows she's going to have to get down and dirty to get into this fight. So it's going to be a hard fight for both fighters. I think it goes the distance, but both will have to work for the win.
That's a brilliant fight. Natasha Jonas, Wyatt, and another great women's fight as well. Another great fight indeed. But what other fight are you looking forward to on the card, Andy? Which one's catching your eye?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to Zach Shelley against Mark Jeffers because I only met Jeffers this week, but you can see what he's about. His confidence is real. You get a sense of whether somebody really believes they're going to win, whether they're here absolutely to win or here just to put on a show and try and impress. He believes he can win. Shelley always believes he can win. I think we've got two guys there who, like the top of the bill, they are prepared to do whatever it takes.
And everything will be left in the ring with those two, won't it?
Yes, it will, definitely.
Matt, who are you looking forward to seeing?
I mean, everyone, but I think the main event for me, it's all about the main event, yeah, because I really don't know who's going to win. I can see a strong case for either girl.
Well, you've got about 30 seconds to think about that because I'm coming to you for a prediction. Johnny, what are you looking forward to seeing?
I'm looking forward to, of course, the rise and rise of Ben Whittaker. Yeah. I love the story. I love everything about him. Then, of course, I've got to stick to Yorkshire. Callum Simpson's got to get the job done. Bringing Harper Barnsley with him, so it's going to be pretty quiet there. but it'll be massive and loud here at the AO Arena. So either way, I think the undercard is just as exciting as the main event.
Just going back to Ben Whittaker, everyone always looks forward to his fight, but also his ring walk. How good was that last time out? If that was anything to go by,
you know, Anna, when Naz used to box, people used to actually go to watch the ring more than the fight itself. And Ben has now started to create that, and that's why it's so exciting to see it happen all over again, because this guy so far is backing up the post and looks the part. So it's just good to see history repeating itself.
He's a showman, isn't he? You're right, you know what's coming, Matt. You're going to have to think of something. You're not technically allowed to give me a prediction, but I'm taking that commentator's hat off. If you weren't commentating, who would you go for in the main event?
But I am. So boxing will be the winner.
Very diplomatic. Matt, you can't. Well, you're commentating as well, but you can have an opinion.
No, do you know, I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't know, but what I will say is I think it's going to be an absolute firefight because Dezurn will bring it, and Savannah will have to put that fire out if she's going to win. Can she do it? Don't know.
Johnny, don't leave me hanging. You cannot sit on the bench. No.
I always put my foot in it. I think Clarissa's going to make me pay for that last that last prediction. But I'm going Savannah on points. Tight win.
It's going to be good, isn't it? I am very much looking forward. We all are. Oosh, I'm not allowed. I'm impartial. I'm not allowed to say. It's going to be brilliant. The whole card is such a good card. We would love your company tomorrow night. We're going to be across all the channels from 7 o'clock, so we'll hopefully see you then.